Welcome to Blazing Baseball, episode number 111, where we blaze through today's baseball topics. And we are Astros and Yankees fans.
Yes, sir.
So, today we had the Pirates at Cubs.
We got 15 games today.
Yep.
Full stack.
And we had Chicago winning 4-2. Sorry if I mispronounced any names on this podcast. With
Cubbies.
The win going to Thompson.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The loss to Wilson. And the save to Givens. Excuse me. And then later today we have the Marlins at Reds with the Marlins Lopez, who is 6-5, versus the Reds Green, who is 3-1. And then we have the Rays at Orioles with the Rays McClanahan, who is 10-3, versus the Orioles Watkins, who is 3-1. And then the Braves at Phillies with the Braves Strider, who is 4-3, versus the Phillies Nola, who is 6-7. And then we have the Cards at Blow Jays with the Cards Palente, who is 3-4, versus Toronto's Barrios, who is 7-4. And then we have the Guardians at Bum Sox with the Guardians Straw, who is 4-2, versus Boston's Winkowski, who is 3-4. And then we have the Padres at Tigers with the Padres Clevenger, who is 2-3, versus the Tigers Hill, who is 1-2. And then we have maybe perhaps the most exciting Subway Series in decades.
There you have it.
Going down tonight with the Yanks at Mets with the Yanks Montgomery, who is 3-2, versus the Mets Walker, who is 7-2.
Subway to Shea Stadium. From the Bronx to the Queens.
And then we have the Angels at Royals with the Angels Suarez, who is 1-4, versus the Royals Zerpa, who is 2-0. And then we have the Twins at Brewers with the Twins Bunday, who is 6-4, versus the Brewers Small, who is zip. And then we have the White Sox at Rockies with the White Sox Kopech, who is 3-6, versus the Rockies Marquez, who is 6-7. And then we have the Astros at A's with the Astros Garcia, who is 8-7, versus the A's Montes, who is 3-9. And then we have the Giants at D-backs with the Giants Rodon, who is 8-5, versus the D-backs Gilbert, who is 0-3. And then we have the Nats at Dodgers with the Nats Gray, who is 7-6, versus the Dodgers White, who is 1-2. And then we have the Rangers at Mariners with the Rangers Dunning, who is 1-6, versus the Mariners Kirby, who is 2-3.
Okay, full stack. One game done. 14 to go. Okay.
So we have later today in this podcast, we have an update on the international drafts.
All right.
And more Want Soto talk.
Okay.
But we'll get into those conversations later into this podcast.
First, we're going to do the Astros playing against the Oakland A's last night at the Oakland Coliseum in front of 4,000, which was surprising to me, 4,105 fans. That's it. But the Oakland A's prevailed. They won 7-5 over the Astros, even though they had a small amount of fans. They still won 7-5. The Astros had 7 hits and 5 runs. They had doubles by Diaz and McCormick and home runs by Pena and McCormick, but it wasn't enough because they gave up 10 hits and 7 runs to the Oakland A's. The losing pitcher was Odorizzi for the Astros. He's 4-3. He went 5 innings. He gave up 7 hits and 6 runs. His earned run average went up to 4.25. The winning pitcher was Euler. He's 1-3 for the Oakland A's. He went 5 innings. He gave up 4 hits and 3 earned runs. His earned run average is 8, but he got the win, and the save went to Trevino, which is his 9th save of the season. He pitched the 9th inning, and he had a strikeout. So the Astros are going to take another shot at the Oakland A's tonight. Let's see what's happening. Who's chucking for the Astros, Mr. Colby?
So in Oakland Coliseum today at 8:40 p.m. Central Time, we have Luis Garcia, who is a right-handed pitcher for the Astros, who is 8-5 with a 3.65 ERA and 100 strikeouts. And then on the mound for the A's is Frankie Montez, who is a right-handed pitcher, who is 3-9 with a 3.16 ERA and 105 strikeouts.
And Chazzy Fizz McCormick is batting .667 against Montes. And Yuli is batting .367 with 30 at-bats against him. So the Astros can hit him. They can get some runs tonight. The lineup is not in yet.
Well, we have Oakland.
Lineups just popped in. Look at this, the Oakland.
Yeah, just for Oakland. So up first for the A's is Metchin at third base, batting .210. And then Laureano at DH, batting .230. And then Murphy at catcher, batting .245. And then Pinder at first base, batting .247. And then Andrus at shortstop, batting .236. And then Piscotty at right field, batting .191. And then Kemp at left field, batting .208. And then Bolt at center field, batting .231. And then Bride at second base, batting .220.
Let's see if the Astros are going to pop in. Yeah, negative.
And we will give y'all the Blazing Baseball predicted lineup for the Astros, which we'll base it off of yesterday's lineup against the A's, which we have Altuve at first up at second base, and then Pena at shortstop, and then Alvarez at DH, and then Bregman at third base, and then Gurriel at first base, and then Diaz at left field, and then Chazzy Fizz McCormick at right field, and then Myers at center field, and then Lee at catcher.
All right. And tonight, the Yankees do take on the Mets.
Yep, 6:10 Central Time in Citi Field, Flushing, New York.
Flushing Meadows, Queens, New York.
And on the mound for the Yanks is Jordan Montgomery, who is a left-handed pitcher who is 3-2 with a 3.24 ERA and 88 strikeouts. And then on the mound for the Mets is Taijuan Walker, who is a right-handed pitcher who is 7-2 with a 2.55 ERA and 73 strikeouts. And then up first for the Yanks is LeMahieu at second base, batting .283, and then Judge at center field, batting .294.
Judgy.
And then Rizzo at first base, batting .221.
Riz.
And then Torres at DH, batting .266. And then Carpenter at right field, batting .323. And then Donaldson at third base, batting .229. And then Hicks at left field, batting .238. And then Connor Falefa at shortstop, batting .272. And then Trevino at catcher, batting .264.
All right. Go Yanks.
Then up first for the Mets is Nemo at center field, batting .266. And then Marte at right field, batting .296. And then Lindor at shortstop, batting .247. And then Alonso Polar Bear is at first base, batting .274. And then Canna is at left field, batting .270. And then Escobar is at third base, batting .219. And then McNeil is at second base, batting .293. And then Davis is at DH, batting .240. And then Naito is at catcher, batting .213.
All right.
And I want to say that Pete Alonso is still now over Aaron Judge in RBIs with 82.
Wow.
To
It's a
Judge
lot.
is 81.
Okay.
Yep. To be I believe, the league leader.
Yep. That could do it. There's a lot of baseball left. They could get way over 100.
Yeah.
Yep.
Well, that could not be up to date, but
Yeah.
that was
Close enough. We're not at the end of the season yet, though.
Yeah.
It'll keep going up.
Yep.
Yep.
And so in the standings in the AL East, in first place, we have the Yanks, 12.5 games over the Blue Jays.
12 and a half.
In the AL Central, the Twins are 3.5 games over the Guardians. In the AL West, the Astros are 12 games over the Mariners.
12.
In the NL East, the Mets are 2 games over the Braves. In the NL Central, the Brewers are 2 games over the Cards. And in the NL West, the Dodgers are 11.5 games over the Padres.
Okay. The Mets are 6-4 in their last 10 games. They won their last game. They're 59-37. And then the Yankees are 66-31. They won 5. They're 5-5 on the last 10 games. They won their last game, so they're kind of even. Astros are 7-3 in their last 10 games, but they lost last night. But they are 7 wins and 3 losses in the last 10. That's a good stat.
Yep.
So
the A's get us sometimes.
Not tonight.
Yeah, not tonight.
Story here says the Nationals. This is from Sports Illustrated. Says the Nationals.
By Tom Verducci.
Yeah. Says the Nationals have no choice but to trade Juan Soto because he's very valuable right now because he's a free agent after the 2024 season. So that means he could help a team win 3 World Series now if someone takes him now. If the Nationals keep him past August 3rd, which is the cutoff date for trading, then the team that wants him is only going to be able to get 2 cracks at the World Series with Juan Soto. So what they're saying is his most valuable timing is right now because the Mets could get more players for him if they trade now because the team that gets him can have him for 3 years and try to get 3 World Series. So that's the story.
So then do you believe that's what they're going to do now?
I think they're going to trade him.
They're going to trade him.
They're going to trade him. They couldn't get him for the $440 million, which is a staggering amount of money. Even says it right here. Staggering is the word that they use. And so the Nationals, if they can't sign him, they're going to trade him, and they're going to try to get the 3 great prospects. That's what they're trying to. That's what the other stories that we read, the articles said. They're trying to get 3 top prospects for him.
Yeah, first I didn't even think of it this way, or even think it was, look at it like this, but it's making a lot of sense.
Yep.
Because I was just thinking, oh, they'll just, I guess, make another offer later, but
they can. They can just keep him and make another offer later with more money. If they decided that they had more money. But that's a lot of money to be, on your payroll. That puts a big number on your salary cap and all the other players and what you can pay them. So it's going to be interesting, but we're going to know in about a week.
Yeah.
But things should start boiling up over the weekend. Yep.
How are the Nats looking right now?
Yeah, the Nats aren't too good. Nats are 33-65. They're the worst team in the NL East. They're 18.5 games out.
Well, another player that was on the Nats that comes to mind that they already did trade was Scherzer to the Mets.
Okay, so, well, he's going to help the Mets.
I feel like I guess they probably are looking for prospects instead of trying to keep Soto at this point.
Yep. Plus, it's a lot of money to keep him.
Yeah.
They can get the prospects that pay him $700,000 a year as a rookie. Mm-hmm. That's it.
So, which team do you think he's going to go to?
I don't know. Yeah. It's tough. I read the Dodgers really like him. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The Yankees could try to get a shot at him, but I don't think the Yankees need him. I think the Yankees would need a pitcher. Mm-hmm. That's what I think.
Yeah, I feel like.
And I don't think the Astros need him either. The Astros have Alvarez, man.
Yeah.
He's way better. Alvarez is way better than Soto.
Yeah.
And the Judge is way better than Soto. That's just my opinion.
Mhm.
Okay.
No,
But he is only 23.
yeah.
He's younger.
Mhm.
Okay.
Mhm. All good points.
Yeah, yeah. The Yankees and the Astros, they have really good teams. The Astros have better pitching. So I think the Astros have the edge right now. I think the Yankees know that. The Yankees are going to be trying to get a pitcher. I think that's where they're going to focus.
Mhm.
Yep.
And so, in the international draft news, we have an article by Alden Gonzalez from ESPN.
Mm-hmm.
It says the title says no international draft for now. Here's what the decision means for MLB, free agency, and the future.
Hmm.
Then it says on Monday's deadline for the two sides to come to agreement, the Major League Baseball Players Association formally rejected MLB's last proposal for an international draft, a decision that will have ripple effects not just for young international players, but for some of MLB's top impending free agents. After all, part of the bargain was that if no deal could be made in the draft, the qualifying offer would be back on the table this winter.
Okay. They're going back to negotiations.
Yep.
And this is for the 2024 season. So it didn't have any effect on next year anyway.
Mhm.
Okay, well, I think that's probably why they just pushed it back a little bit.
Mhm.
But they do got to get it figured out. It affects a lot of players. There's a lot of players out there that they could get drafted. It would change the dynamic of the quality of players that Major League Baseball could get.
Yep. Yeah, I think they're gonna get a good system in place eventually soon.
Next year,
Yeah.
2023,
Next
because
year,
they got to
yeah,
have
that's
it
what
for
it sounds like.
2024, right? That's they're shooting for 2024
Yeah.
to have the answer.
Yep.
Right. Because they realized, I think they couldn't get the answer by 2023
Mm-hmm.
because they were too far apart.
Yes, and also another legal lawsuits that need more time right now. Also, according to ESPN, it says, like article came out today. It says senators give MLB Rob Manfred extension to respond to antitrust questions on minor leagues.
Yep.
And it says the group of U.S. senators has given baseball commissioner Rob Manfred a 3-day extension until Friday to respond to questions about the sports antitrust exemption and minor leaguers.
Right. Major League Baseball is the only company that has the waiver for antitrust.
Yep.
Which is meaning they're allowed to have a monopoly.
Yep.
And is that fair? The answer is no.
Yeah.
But I mean, they got it because they've been America's pastime for 100 years. So it's history. So there you go. But, it's going to change somehow.
Yeah.
It's going to have an effect. Okay. Eventually. Might not happen for a while.
Mm-hmm. So, and also news, MLB trade rumors.
Okay.
We have Tigers sign Daniel Norris, Jacob Barnes to minor league deals.
It's a minor league deal?
Yep.
Okay.
All right. Any other baseball topics today on this baseball podcast?
14 games coming up, one down. A lot of great baseball here on Tuesday night.
Yep. And we'll catch y'all here tomorrow on Blazing Baseball, Blazing through tomorrow's baseball topics.
Peace out. Blazing Baseball. Go Yanks. Go Astros.